Welcome along to episode 833 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. Coming up on the show this week, we've got Gareth Locke-Locke letting us know about some disappearing names and how to preserve them. Matthew Hoggy Hoggard MBE, former cricketer, now barbecuing expert, has got some tips on what to do on the barbecue over the summer months and what wine to pair them with. Rod Bissett of the Grange Players let us know what they have on the way as their last production before their summer break, when they go off and probably do loads of barbecues. We will be having a natter with the producer and star of Sweeney Todd, Slice and Dice, Terry Bird, joining us for a chat about that production. We'll be talking music with composer Adi Madanes as we find out about a piece of work he's been composing, and it involves a fantastic translation of a poem. Plus, we'll also be hearing from Compton Care, Charlotte Harrison letting us know about the amazing volunteers as Volunteer Week comes to a close. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
The Grange Players are on stage from the 17th through to the 26th of July. Rod Bissett knows what they're doing and what's involved. He's here to tell me about it. How are you, sir?
I'm all well. How are you, Jason?
Oh, we're getting by, and always like to hear about some of the amazing theatre that you guys produce. So, what have you got in store this time?
All right, then. So buckle up for this one because we're not taking it easy because we're going to dive into the fantastically hilarious farce Don't Dress for Dinner.
You do like a
which
good
is-
farce, don't you? Which I think helps.
We absolutely do, and the audiences absolutely love one. And this one is fantastic because it proves that lying is really hard work, especially if you're rubbish at it.
What happens then? Because we got is it a big cast, this one?
So, we are a fairly big cast. We've got, I'm hoping I can count this right. One, two, three, four, five, about six of us
Yep.
running around. So we are in a very charming French countryside chateau
Mm-hmm.
owned by Bernard, who is planning a fantastically romantic weekend with his mistress because his wife's told him she's off to go visit her mother.
But there's more
So,
ensuing there, isn't there? I can tell.
well, it's going to go perfectly because Bernard is using his best friend Robert as a bit of an alibi,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing that Robert is actually seeing Bernard's wife Jacqueline on the side.
Okay.
So once Jacqueline realizes Robert's coming over, she decides to stay, which means then that Robert has to now pretend that Bernard's mistress is really Robert's girlfriend. Unfortunately, Robert meets the wrong woman and thinks that the chef that they've got for hire is actually the girlfriend. So he has to pretend that they're dating. Then when the girlfriend turns up, they have to pretend that she's the chef, all before dinner's even been remotely served.
And we can have the premise because it's the moments of comedy which will bring this to life. And I think this is going to just be a romp, which is exactly what you want in a farce, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, this is written by a chap called Mark Camaletti, who did the outrageously frantic Boeing, which, if anyone's seen, is a set of about seven doors, and as one shuts, another one opens. All the while, the characters are trying to stop all the women from meeting each other.
So this is from a stable which knows how to make people laugh. It's all about the fact that being a bit naughty can be very entertaining, and the wonderful situation that you find yourself in here. I think that covers it well enough, doesn't it? So tell us about your cast because I know you know the director well.
I do know the director well. It's someone I invited into my house just to come visit, and she never left 6 years later, and then I ended up marrying her. So yes, this is going to be directed by our lovely arts director Sarah, who I have to say lovely because she's probably listening downstairs at the moment.
Hmm.
So she's keeping track of us all. I am playing Robert, the best friend and adulterer of wives.
Yes.
We've got Gareth May, who people recently saw in Hand of the Baskervilles. He's playing Bernard.
Something of a different role for him.
Oh, very much so. But at least he only has to do one role this time, so that's always nice.
Hmm.
We've got Francesca Reese, who is playing Jacqueline. We have got Lucy Talbot, who is playing Suzette, the French chef. We've got a lovely new starter to our theatre called Kath Black, who is playing the mistress, who is called Suzanne. And then we've got Damien Dickens, who is playing George, who is Suzette, the chef's husband.
Okay, so we got to try and work out what's going on as we go along. That's part of the fun. There'll be outfits that'll help and hinder, and there will be comedy lines aplenty. So it's going to be absolutely fab. Right, so all we need to do now is know where we get tickets from.
All right, so that's on the usual place. So you can just go to our website, which is all the W's, grangeplayers.co.uk. And then you can follow the ticket links there, or you can phone at the box office, which, as I've said, is the director, Sarah. So please be nice to her. And you can reach her on 07909 036 835.
That's 07909 036 835. Get those calls in, get your tickets booked, have an amazing time with it. You guys break a leg and don't get caught when you shouldn't be. The Grange Players will all the plays take place at the Grange Players, which is Broadway North in Walsall, WS12QB, to get yourself there on the night. It's going to be brilliant. 17th through to the 26th of July. It is the place to be. And we ask the audiences to dress for dinner, even though the show is called Don't Dress for Dinner.
Oh, please, yes, because we can see most of you, and we don't want to lose our lunch.
That would be difficult. Rod Bissett, always good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us. As I say, have a brilliant time with the show, and we will no doubt talk about a new season in the not too distant future.
Looking forward to it.
We are certainly in the middle of barbecue season, and it's not only about the food, but also the drink that goes alongside it. As an amazing Aussie tradition, a bit of Australian wine probably wouldn't go amiss. Somebody who's been partnering with a drop of the good stuff to help his cooking expertise is Matthew Hoggy Hoggard MBE, former international cricketer, of course, but now celebrity chef, and absolutely down to it when it comes to operating that grill in the garden. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. What an intro. I'm reeling.
Now, it's an amazing skill to have at being the best at barbecuing, and you are up there with the greatest. No, yeah, you did it on the cricket pitch. You turn that into a world of culinary delights, and I think it is important when we think about what we put on the barbecue, because it is about quality. It is about enjoying it, and you don't want your burgers sort of all mushy and falling through the grill, but also you want a top quality glass of wine with it too.
You certainly do, and as you say, we have paired with. You did mention it, didn't you? Australian.
The cricketing world and the world of food are two very separate things. It's okay.
Yeah, it's Australians. We won't hold it against them. But yeah, Andrew Peace, family-run business, got in touch with Hoggy's Grill, family-run business, and said, "Can we do a conflab?" And as such, we've tried to create the beautiful, simple menu that you can feed your family on a budget. So we've created a £30 menu where you can feed a family of 4 with delicious food and delicious wine. Bottle of wine, family of 4, 30 quid, all the ingredients available at somewhere at Tesco's, and you can enjoy the great British sunshine while enjoying a crisp glass of Chardonnay and some lovely barbecue food.
You see, I think what you're doing here is, I know we've got the Aussies involved, they are providing the wine, but when it comes down to it, you're basically beating the Aussies at their own game when it comes to barbecuing with your skills, aren't you? So you're always going to be a winner there, even if, it hasn't always been that easy in the likes of the Ashes.
Yeah, so we're now going to get at the Australians, because the Australians don't barbecue. They've got gas. Gas, and gas. They don't cook on real fires. That's not proper barbecuing. So yes, we like to barbecue on proper coal and get all them delicious flavors through the food, and have a relaxing time with it.
And yeah, it's about that chill time. It's about the family time, and it is mostly the blokes who are doing the cooking here, isn't it? And I think sometimes that's a bit of a novelty, but equally, it's about time we shared the workload, especially as it's obviously loads of fun playing with the charcoal.
Yeah, but that's what I think where we make our mistake. The research showed that we spend like 60, 70 quid or on just the ingredients for the barbecue. And it shows we have 3 different starters, 3 different main courses. They all cook at different temperatures, different times. We give it to the person that doesn't normally do the cooking, and then we whack them onto a grill that they don't know how to use properly, and we wonder why it's stressful. So we try to take away all the stress, give them handheld instructions of saying, right, then, nice basic menu, delicious glass of wine, enjoy your family time, invite your friends around, have a nice time around open fire, chilling, drinking a lovely drop of wine while relaxing with your friends and family.
Yeah, so you don't want to wreck things. You do not want cremated steak or sausages. You don't want underdone chicken, and you've got to make sure you get the veg that you put on there cooked to perfection too.
Massively. And that when we talk about kebabs, everybody puts veg next to meat, next to veg next to meat. Now, veg and meat cook at different times, different temperatures. Why do we do that? And then when we get it to our plate, we strip the kebab off and then we eat them all on the same plate. Why don't we have 1 kebab stick of meat, 1 kebab stick of veg, and then we'll cook them nice and nicely through, so our chicken's nicely cooked, our veg isn't burnt, and then we can put and mix them on our plate. Just little simple tricks, common sense at times, but also back to basics. Do a couple of things really well, and you'll want to go back for more.
Yeah, and they say if you're picking up a pack of food from Tesco's, you know how many it's going to feed, and if you need to do multiple packs, you know what you're doing, and you know what your guests are going to enjoy when they come and visit.
We can do a bit of maths as well, and I think it's £6.75 for a lovely bottle of wine as well from Tesco's. You can't say fairer than that. The Chardonnay is really good. Cab Sav is my personal favourite. But they've got the Shiraz, they've got the Pinot Gris, so you've got a selection of different grapes and selection of food, and they pair really well.
And I mean, when you were in your midst of your cricketing career, did you ever think the grill was going to be your home once you'd hung up your boots and shin pads?
No, not at all. So I retired in 2013, didn't know what to do. I likened it to leaving school, and I bumbled around for maybe 7 years. And then my wife and I had a discussion saying, right, we need to find something I'm passionate about. And I said eating and drinking. And we went, right, barbecuing. As I went to South Africa, as I said, at 16, fell in love with cooking outside on real fire. I said, right, we don't know how to barbecue properly in the UK. You can cook Yorkshire puddings, souffles, baked cakes. You can cook anything that you can cook in a kitchen on a grill if you've got the right techniques. I said, right, let's do a barbecue school.
Yeah, it is the most ancient of cooking techniques that we have as a species, isn't it? It is exactly how it would have been done over an open fire whilst sitting outside a cave.
It is, and that's what I think I love. You can just watch the flames. You don't even have to cook. You can watch the dancing flames, because I love the dancing flames at a fire. But as soon as you've got that fat hitting the coals and you smell that delicious barbecue smell, it makes your tummy grumble. And as you say, it's something primeval about just sitting around a campfire eating delicious food. But they haven't fomented the grapes, I don't think, back in them days. So we've got to say thank you for the person that invented wine.
It is a massive step forward, and the fact that we're bringing them in from the New World and Australia, and some amazing flavours from down under, alongside the brilliant food you're picking up here. Give us all the details on where we can go to get the meals, and also I want Hoggy's online guide too. So where can we find you as well?
Okay, Andrew Peace website or Andrew Peace at Instagram. They'll have all the menus, all the wine range. And then if you want to learn to barbecue properly, hoggysgrill.com and book a course, and we'll feed you. No, you won't. You'll prep and make your own food, and then we'll water you with delicious Andrew Peace wines.
Yeah, AP Wines on the socials. Check those details there. And Hoggy's G is where we can find you on the socials as well. Well, it's going to be worthwhile checking it out. Get some great tips. Get those skills in and get some fantastic flavours on your plate. And you say, if you're looking at that pack of food ready to go for your barbecue, nip down to Tesco's and check that one out. Matthew, Hoggy Hoggard MBE, grilling star and cricketer extraordinaire, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Dana Wyszynski has If You Let Me Take Part as an amazing piece of music. The composer behind that is Adi Madanes, who joins me now. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How is your world and what's going on in it musically?
Um, this is kind of like different world of my regular music.
Hmm.
This is a poem by Leah Goldberg. She was like a professor of literature that wrote tons of kids' book, poetry, translated a lot of German work and Russian work to English, to Hebrew. She's like, I might say, our national poet, but she was never national. She was part of a group that came from. Just a minute. This noise is annoying. I will
This
take
is
him
your
out.
dog. Well, this is fine. Your dog is also trying to compose music in the background.
Yeah. He's better than me. Sammy. She was part of like people that came here from Russia, Poland, Germany between the wars. And they were liberal, leftist, socialists that tried to make like a kind of like better world. So she wasn't never like a national poet. She refused to write war songs, by the way, or like kind of like unity songs. She said that like a poet shall talk about love and feelings, and she never took part of all these like these nationality things. She was kind of like she said poets should deal with their feelings, not with the national feelings.
Mhm. Yeah, because I mean, Königsberg is where she was born, and that's now in Kaliningrad. She was raised in Lithuania, and it's sort of literary profile that she had, where she was very much a voice to be heard, wasn't she?
Yes, and there is a brilliant video clip that done by a friend of mine called Leo Molcho. He made videos for Sia, for Cheap Thrills,
Hmm.
and her Snowman project. So the music video combined her kids book called Apartment for Rent and the lyrics of this poem. The thing with Apartment for Rent, it's like kids book that it started as columns in kids magazine.
Hmm.
Then it developed to a book, and the story there is about like a apartment building with 5 floors that each floor has its own apartment, and animals live there. And the mouse that used to live in the 5th floor left the building, and the animals are looking for a placement for him. So other animals are coming, and they all say we really like the apartment, but we don't like the neighbors. They have prejudice. They kind of like, and one after the other, and like coming and refusing to live in the apartment because of this. I don't know. The chicken is fat. The cat is black. Like kind of like bad narratives. Eventually, the peace dove is coming, and she said, they ask her, how is the apartment? How is the kitchen? How is the furniture? How is the shower? To say, the apartment is not very nice, but I like the neighbors. I want to live with you. So it's kind of like, it was kind of like pioneering to write such a book in the 40s, 50s.
Hmm.
And it's like teaching kids about, I don't know. I want to think that people that like kids that been read this book when they were younger turn out to be better people
Yeah,
later.
avoiding prejudice, taking away the stigma of where somebody's from, and being together as one great race of humanity.
Yes.
And I think that's a message we need in this day and age, isn't it?
Yeah. It's and telling it with animals, it's like a clever move. Like it's not like like she gave the animals kind of like I don't know what people usually said about other people, and while telling it about animals, it show how stupid it is, like the prejudice, you know.
Because I mean, Dana herself, I mean, she hasn't been an active performer for over 10 years. She's come out of what has become a new life to perform this song, born in Tel Aviv, but she's carrying this message of togetherness with the track.
Dana, I know her since she was 2 years old.
Hmm.
She had a beautiful album 10 years ago. And I guess her ego is healthy enough so she could quit music, and she became a clinical psychologist. Actually, now she's doing her final exams to she's already has a clinic, and she works in a mental institute. And I kind of like pulled her, so you have to sing this song because this poem, more than like the lyrics itself, it's like what's hidden between the lyrics, between the lines, and the nuances in the lyrics themselves. Like, it's a poem. Leah Goldberg she was in love with an older poet. She was secretly in love with him for 13 years. He was 28 years older than her. They said that he never knew that she was in love with him. And it's like a sad, tragic story of the sad poet, the classic one, but like, I don't know, much stronger. And in these lyrics, she kind of like, she's sad, she's in love, but there's also like a bit of anger, hidden anger, because she asked him to join his miserable and to help him get out of his miserable, because he wasn't a happy person as well. So it's kind of like the song was ordered like there's kind of like X Factor singer here that like she ordered the song for me. She gave me the lyrics and I ordered like a composition for it. And then she disappeared. So I said, at first I said, oh, then I say, oh, good. I have a song. Let's do something with it. So I'm kind of like blessing her for disappearing, because I think like what Dana is doing here is like something that nobody else could have done. She has like her understanding of the lyrics and the situation. Like she's singing it as like, as a, I don't know, a psychologist. Like, I guess maybe you have to be a psychologist to I don't know, deliver the song.
We can learn from what she sees on her vision of human interactions through the words here that are being brought to life with the lyrics by Leah Goldberg. Of course, the translation that I know you've been part of to make this work and to bring it to a wide audience and a chance to enjoy this poem as an amazing piece of music. Where can people go to pick up a copy of this?
It will be on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music. Distribute music this way.
And enjoy it digitally and make memories and listen to the songs, follow the words and the message of oneness, acceptance, and working together. Well, it's going to be amazing to listen to. We'll take a sneak preview of the track now. Dana Wyszynski is the artist. If You Let Me Take Part is the song. Composer behind it, Adi Madanes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
If you bring me your cold
Now, Volunteers Week may have come to a close, but the amazing work that the volunteers at Compton Care do is ongoing throughout the year, whether it's people who are serving coffee at one of the Compton sites or whether it's people who are helping out in the Compton Care shops. They are vital to the work that Compton does. Trading sales manager at Compton Care, Charlotte Harrison, now joins me to tell me quite how great their volunteers are. How you doing?
Hi, Jason. Thank you for asking me to come on. Volunteering Week, National Volunteering Week, we've been celebrating our volunteers. Although we do celebrate our volunteers every single day. As you say, they play such an enormous part in the success of, everything that we do here at Compton Care. We couldn't do what we do without our team of volunteers. So last week, our senior leadership team and some of the trustees went out to the stores and also went to other parts of the organisation just to say thank you to all the volunteers that we do have.
Working for an organisation like Compton Care, people can feel the thanks. It's almost they're surrounded by it in a warm, yellowy kind of way. Whether it be, the praise that they will get from customers in shop, knowing that they are volunteering there, or just whether they may have had family or friends who've been helped by Compton, and this is their way of giving back, and they've been pre-thanked in many ways, haven't they?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. A lot of our volunteers have been touched or know somebody that's been touched by the work that we do. So yes, a lot of them, do give their valuable time back to us just so that we continue to make that difference. But, whether it's, yes, we do thank them day in, day out for all the hard work. So whether it's a cup of tea or a biscuit or just a thank you, just making sure that we just spend the time with them, and we really, really do appreciate them.
And I think the sort of roles that we're looking at here, that it's great for people to be able to show they've got customer service skills. You're not only getting something from them, but they, by giving something back, are able to put things on their CV. And it might well be they volunteer just on a Saturday or certain evenings in the week. And that goes around their normal working lives. But it all helps towards not only recognition for the skills that they have, but also to make them feel good too. And I think hopefully the volunteers will get something back.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of volunteers do say to us when we do talk to them, they get as much from coming to volunteer with us as we get as from them volunteering. So, you're absolutely right. It's to develop skills. And also a lot of the time the volunteers bring new skills to us. So, it just works hand in hand. But you're right, whether it's on the tills in the stores, in our gardens, part of the catering team, there's so much opportunity, for people that do want to come and volunteer for us. So if anybody is interested in coming to volunteer for us, please visit our websites or, pop into the stores or just pop to Compton Hall and have a chat with somebody on reception. But all the vacancies that we've got are live on our website.
Yeah, and it could be you've got a skill that is needed to sort of help out, or it could be you can be available at what you might think are funny times, or actually those are the times that somebody else might not be available. So you can make a difference. And I've been around Compton Hall, and I've met people who are volunteering, helping out on the wards as well. It's all sorts of different backgrounds, and I think sometimes it's people may even be full-time nurses and still want to spend some time helping out at Compton and use those skills they have in their day job.
Yeah, every hour that anybody wants to, come and volunteer in any part of the organisation, we are forever grateful for our team of volunteers.
ComptonCare.org.uk. Of course, you've got the sites around the city and beyond, even down to the cafes. Nip into one of those if you want to be able to help out, see what might be available there. Don't be disheartened if there's not a vacancy where you are at the minute. Obviously, you can't have too many volunteers knocking around who aren't able to help out, but it could well be something will come along soon, or you might be able to suddenly find out there's something else that you hadn't even thought you could do that might be offered to you as an opportunity.
Absolutely. Please just pop in and see us or visit the website.
It could be an amazing future and a brilliant partnership, and helping so many people, whether it be through your time, which makes a difference, or directly helping those who are in need. Trading Sales Manager for Compton Care, Charlotte Harrison, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you.
Now, Etsy have done some research ahead of Father's Day to look at dad names, and some of them are becoming extinct. On that list is the name Gareth. Gareth Locke-Locke is here with you now. Daddy Chelsea star, entrepreneur, dad to twins, and also somebody who doesn't want to see the name Gareth disappear into the ether. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jason. How are you?
All good here. Now, there's a few names on this list. Steve, Colin, Craig, Derek, Gareth, Tyrone, Phil, Wolfgang, Leroy, and Roger. Now, I don't know any Wolfgangs at all.
I
My late father was called Colin, so to me, that definitely is a dad name. But
yeah.
it's a shame to see some of these cool sounding names starting to disappear.
I know, I know. I always expected. I was a big surprise to me because I expect Gary. Gary, everyone thinks it's short for Gareth. It's not. It's a different name, but I always expect Gary to be honest. That, like there's not Gareth, and that's the thing. It's surprising. Although I've had a son and a daughter, and I haven't named either of them Gareth, so maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah, it does make a difference. But I mean, Gareth is a name that which is being popped up in the world of sport. I'm thinking of a gentleman well before your time who was shaking his hand to his ear and producing coffee beans. He was a Gareth. So you know, and it's not a non-cool sounding name. Now, some of them are a little bit less cool. I'm not going to say which, other than Wolfgang. And you know, it is sometimes fashion which makes a difference here because some of the granny names are starting to make a resurgence, aren't they?
Yeah. That said, it's like names like Mabel and things like that, which it sort of goes with the times, doesn't it? It becomes acceptable then to start calling the a baby by that name again. Whereas I must say, that although it's your father's name, Colin, I think for baby Colin doesn't really fit the bill at the moment.
No, it is of its time, I think.
Yeah, it is of its time, but you never know. Something as we were talking about in popular culture, like the name comes on something like that, and you've got like Margot. Margot's one of the big ones at the moment, and Margot Robbie obviously has an influence on that, and it's these names end up coming back around. But it makes you think, and especially me seeing it on this list, that it's you sort of don't think about what's going on at the time. You think, oh, okay, actually, yeah, my name is being used less and less frequently. I don't think I know any young kids with the name Gareth.
It does make you more unique, though.
It makes me more unique. It's a brilliant Welsh name as well, and that's why I want to celebrate it. And we're working with Etsy, and they're doing the top 10 names they want to save from going extinct. They've got an offer going live, 50% off from the 5th of June, where you can have your name personalized and engraved on something. And I'd say if you're not going to name your kids after it, you might as well start personalizing everything you can with it.
Absolutely, on everything around the home. Just as a reminder of everybody how cool your name actually is. And
Yeah.
what products do you want with your name on it?
Well, do you know what? I've got my eyes on a barbecue set with Gareth on it, but there's loads of stuff, and especially with Father's Day coming up in a couple of Sundays, it's definitely one to go and have a look at because Etsy is brilliant. With you're able to personalize and a bit of theatre on everything. It makes a really unique gift, and people start saving the name Gareth. I mean, if any listeners want to call their kids Gareth, then I'm more than happy with that.
That'd be great. Yeah, if we can suggest that Gareth is an option to them. If you're deliberating at the minute, just think of the inspiration. I mean, you are basically a star, aren't you? Entrepreneur, all that. I mean, you're out there. You are a name to inspire.
Yeah, you got Gareth Southgate, Gareth Thomas. You got there's so many famous Gareths that and they've all done well, I think.
Yeah, so there's no negativity in the world of Gareth.
No,
That's what we like. So let's try and keep this one at least going. Um,
exactly.
any names you'd like to see disappear, possibly though?
Any names I'd like to see disappear? I mean, Roger's a bit of a funny one, isn't
See,
it?
I was going to say that because I mean it does. It's got the comical connotations, and
Yeah,
it obviously in the world of radio speak, Roger over and out. I
yeah,
mean that just
exactly.
makes it confusing if you're talking to a Roger. So it should
Roger,
go.
Roger. Roger, exactly. And I mean, they'll come back around. I mean, to be honest with you, Gary's one that I haven't missed being around so much because everyone thinks that's a shortened version of my name, and I think Gareth is a much stronger, bolder name.
Mhm.
And in Welsh, it means it's kindness and gentleness. So I think it's always a good one to stick to.
Yeah, and people very often don't think of the meaning behind the names. Did you look at the meaning of your kids' names before you named them?
Yeah. Cosima, which we named after a friend of ours called Cosima, and there's only 15 babies apparently in the UK who are called Cosima. That means chaos and strength. And Apollo with his full name, Apollo Magnus that's a strong heart. So it's a you sort of deliberate over these things. I mean, my daughter's name certainly deliberate over, but it's one of these things you think, well, you don't want anyone else to have it. You
Mhm.
don't. The problem is, as soon as you do it, everyone starts calling their kids the same thing. It's a bit like it's always the trend, isn't it?
Well,
You know?
particularly when you're in the public eye, the same as you. But
Yeah,
it's getting in there first, making sure you get the social handles set up for them as soon as they're born,
yeah,
and buying the .com or .co.uk in case they go into the same sort of world as you.
exactly. I think my husband has already done that. So
Have to plan ahead. That's the way we
Yeah.
like it. Okay, so what else should we do to prepare ourselves for Father's Day if you are looking to point people in the direction of getting you a gift, or if you're looking to have your dad around to buy a gift for? What sort of things are we going to do and get the name that counts out there? Because you can't just put dad on it because that's a bit generic, isn't it?
I know you need to personalize it. Like these things are out there, and you've got Etsy has this amazing Father's Day section. It has so many things, too many things to name on there, and they are all amazing sellers that are doing this. And the best thing with Etsy, what they're doing with this 50% offer, is Etsy is taking the cost. So the seller is still making all the money they normally would on the deal. So it's a really good thing to get behind. And also, yeah, everyone gets boring generic gifts all the time. Why not get something personalized?
Yeah, got to actually get it done. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be a sort of useful gift too. I mean, you might even get your post box. I think of what I bought from Esty last time. So a letterbox for outside the house, and you can have that personalised over the house name, the family name, that sort of thing would work,
I,
or just some other random gift, whatever it is, or the thing that you didn't realise that they needed in their lives.
Yeah, I'd say lots of dads like gardening. There's an amazing kit where you can get their personalized name on that at the moment on Etsy. Definitely. I'm getting a barbecue set for sure because I'm currently trying to use a very small dessert fork to try and do it. But yeah, there's lots of options.
But do you also find yourself having to get your partner's gift too? So you're getting stuff with Ollie written all over it, so the kids can pass it on.
Yeah, of course. And I'm also, I mean, they're 2 in July, so I'm writing the card as well in a bit of a squiggly
But you
cut.
hold their hand and make them do it, don't you?
Yeah, I'll either get that or a handprint on it at the end or something like that.
That will work well, and I'm sure Ollie will be impressed, just as you'll be impressed with whatever he sorts out for you for the day, which
But
is what
we will
counts.
see. We will see.
That's all good. Where can we go to find out more about this deal or for the personalised goodies?
It goes live on from June 5th and 50% off those top names on selected items. And by all means, go to Etsy and check out what else they've got on there because it's an amazing website.
So check out the top 10, look for the goodies, get your name on there, 50% off. If you're a set name, any of the names, of course, are still going to be fantastic value, something unique, a brilliant present, whatever happens. And where do we find you on all the socials where we can see what you do actually get and see whether you are barbecuing?
Well, exactly. You'll see me on my Instagram's Gareth P. Locke, Locke with an E.
Okay.
And my Instagram's probably the best one.
That's the way to do it. Gareth Locke-Locke, made in Chelsea star, entrepreneur, dad, and soon to be owner of a brand new personalised barbecuing set. Thank you for joining us.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jason.
1846, Victorian London, Sweeney Todd, a barber whose life has been blighted by a judge who took him away from his family, wrecked his upbringing. However, did it break him? I don't think so. Terry Bird is the man bringing the Sweeney Todd character to life in this film, Sweeney Todd Slice and Dice, and he joins me now to tell me about the movie. How are you doing, sir?
Afternoon. Thank you very much.
Tell us about how this one came about, because I know it was due to quiet times in the industry and really wanted to put something out there of both quality and sort of their experience for people to watch.
Yeah, that's right. We was because obviously a lot of my friends are in the industry, from being cameramen to editors and obviously actors, and it was very much a case of no one was really getting that much work, and as creatives, we need to keep working.
You end up on edge otherwise. There's the reason why you're in this industry is because you want to make things.
That's right, and it's increasingly difficult to make things, especially feature films. So, um, yeah, so I got talking to a lot of my friends, and we meet up every now and then for a beer and a chat, and they'd say, "Well, we'd really like to do something," and so I was going, yeah, so would I. And those kind of conversations get more and more pressured every time you meet up. And then a good friend of mine, Darren Kent, who's a local actor, producer, writer, director. He was very multi-talented. He passed away a couple of years ago, and I was speaking to him a lot about making this film because making a feature film is quite an isolating experience,
Hmm.
especially in development, when you're trying to get the pieces together. And Darren was just full of motivation, and said, come on, get on and do it. I've seen this location, you could probably film in, you could use that. I've got someone who does costumes, they've got lots of Victorian costumes. And just like it snowballed, and with that, his enthusiasm as well, it kind of fired me up even more, you know?
And I think that it all comes across on screen. And whatever Victorian London, there's a lot of London out there which still has that feel about it. But it must have been difficult getting all the locations together for this.
Yeah, it was well because this is a micro budget film,
Hmm.
and shooting something period is more money. It's more expensive than shooting something contemporary. So when we started developing this idea of Sweeney Todd's story, I knew that finding a location was going to be kind of key to this, if it's going to be doable or not. Especially as we wanted it, as you say, to have a bit of production design to it,
Hmm.
and not just have two characters talking next to a lamppost.
Now, you've got wide shots and everything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but
But that comes across. I mean, it is
ah,
cinematic. That's the thing, isn't it? And that's what we are. It's not a made for TV movie. The feel it is very much the feel of the cinema. Even though obviously things don't get released in cinema these days. I mean, going to distribution is even more difficult than putting a production together. But the fact that you can bring this to people's homes onto large screen TVs means you're going to be under scrutiny on 70, 80 inch screens in a lot of cases.
yeah. I mean, thanks very much for those observations. So, um, when I was looking at locations, obviously there are some available where they, shoot the huge budget stuff, like Peaky Blinders and all that kind of stuff, But obviously they're just those locations are not reachable when you haven't got a lot of money. But I remember this place that I went to when I was a kid. My nan and granddad took me there in Cornwall,
Hmm.
and it was called Flambards, and it's like a theme park, but they had a Victorian village recreated inside like a big warehouse.
Hmm.
So once I started digging into that and speaking to the management team there and saying be interested to come down for a recce to have a look to see what's possible. And then I went down and I thought, wow, it's like a mini film studio, you know?
Controlled environment as well, which really helps when you're filming.
Yeah, inside, exactly. Just yeah, it was inside, so no weather issues because we shot in Cornwall in January, February. So that would have been pretty brutal if we would have been shooting outside. But so it was perfect for us. So that really kind of gave us the green light then. I knew it was doable to give it the kind of look you know that we wanted.
And your take on Sweeney Todd, chilling throughout. As we're starting this chat, I pointed out that just talking to you now, having seen you in action as Sweeney Todd, that does not fill you with fear. I'm glad that both you and I no longer need to take a trip to the bar because I'm going to be worried about going if that were the case.
Yeah. Well, then barbers are getting too expensive now, It used to be like £5 or something for them to
They
cut
charge
my
me a
hair.
search fee if ever I go to a barber's these days.
That's it. Um, yeah, but I just tried to play. I didn't want to play him too caricatured.
Hmm.
I wanted to try and play him a bit like a normal man who's been through this kind of turmoil, really, and then started on this path, and that path takes him down some deeper places. So
But your voice characterization as well, that comes into it hugely. And yeah, I think that's something often people forget. You see a lot of actors these days who they sound the same in everything. You don't.
no, well, no, thank you very much. Yeah, try, well, that's a good critique. No, that's yeah. No, I kind of wanted to speak a bit slower, uh, deeper, use as few words as possible.
But you can see his trouble on his face, but here in his voice, you don't know what's behind that until we get a few flashbacks to tell us some of the tale. And of course, that expands through the rest of the film too.
Yes, yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah,
So obviously, a distribution digitally and on DVD that is going to bring this to life for so many people, and the effects team again working on a budget which you would not normally expect them to be able to create a look and a feel and the horror when required that they managed to do. Again, this is just another brilliant part of the work that you've done here.
Yeah, thank you very much. That means a great deal to us because obviously, we're very much restricted by the budget, but we wanted to try and do something that worked. That if we was going to have a visual effect, that it didn't take the audience out of the story too much.
Mhm.
Which is some of the problems with massive budget films anyway. Just because they've got the money to do stuff doesn't mean that you should do it.
Well, but it's the way it looks on film and as well, and it's using the camera and the lighting well. And this is, as you already said, you're working in an environment here that was a controlled, closed set in some cases. Obviously, there's other scenes as well in other places too, but you've got as a way of managing things which allow you to give consistency to the look.
Yeah, correct. From a production point of view, it makes it, a lot more physically and logistically easier to shoot when you're in one location and you're inside as well, you know?
And I like the way as well that in this film you're not just approaching the feel of Victorian times in the way it's often see it represented. You've got Tobias in there who brings a character to life that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see in this sort of story.
Yeah, that was really important to us because Steve, who plays Tobias, is a Down syndrome actor. He's a great actor, but what we didn't want to kind of play it as a Down syndrome character. Really, he's very much like a bit of an artful dodger anyway.
Mhm.
In this, that's how
But that brings a reality, though, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
particularly in Victorian times when there would have not been an opportunity to get the care for many people whose abilities or background was different. Here, you've got somebody being part of society, which is exactly what Steve is during the rest of the time. He's not actually having to act down. He gets to act as he would in that time as somebody who still has to be somebody who gets an income, is part of life, and just like we would expect today, it's not really taking away. It's a part of his character, but it's not defining.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly with you. It's and he plays it beautiful anyway, Steve. He's got such a sensitivity to him, and he's really smart. His ambition is to have a part in EastEnders, and so if anyone hears these interviews, give him a crack, give him a stab because
Well,
he
certainly
deserves it.
seeing the film will help to move his career on in that way.
I
I'm
hope so.
absolutely
I hope
sure.
so.
And obviously, everybody now has got a taste for this tale, and as well as maybe a taste for some interesting pies from a certain baker's in London. So, where do we go to find out more about the movie?
Yeah, so it's available now on DVD and Blu-ray, from the online, loads of different online stores, HMV and Amazon, and it's in supermarkets as well, physical copies as well, which is
Mhm.
quite cool, it's quite unique for a film like this. It's going to be in Morrison's and Asda.
Grab a
Um,
steak pie, grab Sweeney Todd on
that's
DVD,
it,
have a
yeah.
night in, and recreate the experience.
That's a good promotion. I might keep
You can
that.
also find more about Newtown Films, who have brought this to the screen alongside Greenway
Yeah.
Entertainment online, newtownfilms.co.uk, greenwayentertainment.com, and Kaleidoscope Film Distribution is what you're looking for as well when you're doing a search for it. Sweeney Todd Slice and Dice is what you're looking for. Terry Bird, aka Sweeney Todd, and the most scary iteration I think I've ever seen of him. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, no, bless you. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time and your support for the film. Thank you.
That's a lot for this week. Thank you so much for joining me back with episode 834 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. Goodbye from the milk bar. Goodbye from the milk bar. Goodbye from the milk bar, yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar,